Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Michelle Hart here. So today we're testing out a new microphone, so if I sound good, bad, let me know. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading. We have lots of options today because we have a very important question. What can I do to bring happiness into my life? Really, a lot of people ask, will I ever be happy? And that's not really a helpful question to ask because, life has ups and downs, just period, right? But a much more productive question, there we go, much more productive question is, what can I do to kind of bring happiness into my life? So, I'm giving you lots of options here. We have Mookaite, we have orange calcite, there we go. We have green aventurine, we have demortierite, and we have red tiger's eye. So, take a minute, take a deep breath, and pick whichever one you feel drawn to. All right, and we're back. If you need more time, always feel free to pause. Doesn't offend me if I, well, I actually don't know whether or not you paused, so I don't know that it's even possible to offend me in that sense. All right. Putting all my babies off to the side. All right, so today we have pile number 1, which is the Mookaite. Love Mookaite. It's such a grounding stone. All right, so the overall feelings, we're going to put these off to the side for now. The overall energies for this particular pile is Odysseus, or the journey. So this is definitely about taking, this is not just a journey, right? This is dealing with the struggles, the temptations, the difficulties, all the crap that life throws at you, and just powering through them and becoming that hero to yourself that you need to be. And this is a very strong energy here. It's definitely about kind of, well, what I said before, powering through the difficulties that life throws at you. So overall, this is the energy for this particular reading. So keep that in mind as we go about, or as we continue. So we have, for the tarot cards, the 5 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Swords. There is a lot of difficult emotions going on here, people. Definitely, I feel like you're on this journey and you are definitely seeing some struggles. You're definitely seeing some difficulties. You're getting crap thrown at you from left and right, and it's all just overwhelming. Part of the issue could be a relationship thing, a family thing. This is definitely, look at that couple. They're just, neither one of them is wanting to give on that. They're just at an impasse. Another thing that this might be for some of you. I suspect that some of you are very discontent with your work to the point of like it causing problems, not just in your own morale, but like it's affecting your close family and close friends, those that spend the most time with you. And this whole reading is kind of that feeling of strife and defeat and frustration, but don't forget the overall message is powering through these difficulties and figuring out what you need to change, what those difficulties are, so that you can power through and make something better. Okay? So, we'll pull out some oracle cards here. We have, Motivation Manifesto. We have our, Wasp Spirit. Gift, and then we have Angel of Dreams. So first and foremost, How many times have we caused ourselves pain because we failed to think, how would my best self view and respond to this situation? Maybe you're not being your best self right now. Maybe you don't know who your best self is. Sit down, think about who you want to be as a person. Think about the people that you admire. Think about qualities you admire, right? I think the next step from that is, because you can't be everybody, right? There's too many, you can't be perfect at everything. But no, there's too many, at least for me, too many different things that you go, oh, I admire that and that person, that and that person, and that person. But find the one or the ones that are most important to you, those values that are most important to you and you hold most dear. And think about the person within reason, because you're not trying to like completely overhaul who you are as a person. That's asking an awful lot. But definitely think about ways that you can improve who you are with the understanding of this is the person that I want to be, right? So know the characteristics that you want to have and build on those. Ask yourself, in whatever difficult situation has arisen, right? Take the time to pause and ask yourself, what would my best self do in this situation? Moving on to the next card, which is Wasp Spirit. Wasp Spirit. Blah, blah, blah. So, sometimes life stings, is the message here. And we're all going, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. This is obvious, right? Yes, it is obvious. So right now you're in the place of life where life kind of is frustrating and painful at times. But don't forget that sometimes those difficulties, those pains is what motivates us to move on to bigger and better things, or motivates us to move on to something different completely, to open us up to bigger and better possibilities. There is a lot of potential, and sometimes we just need that kick in the pants to get us through, to push us in a different direction, whether we like it or not. This has a good energy about it. So, next one is Gift. Now this is a new deck for me, so give me a sec here. This is, in case anybody is curious, is Gentle Creatures Wisdom deck. And I just got this, and it is the sweetest deck ever. I'm going to have to do a review on this because it's so just adorable. So here, our friends both gaze at butterflies. They are focusing on the beauty that rests so lightly on their fingertips. Sorry. Words are hard today, apparently. So, both of these creatures know a secret that they're willing to share. When you receive this card, ask yourself if you are truly enjoying what is yours, or do you sometimes look at other people and other situations and think they have something better? Or even worse, that they are better than you. The gift these two companions share is special, but not the same. How can she look at a butterfly in the same way as the gentle creature looks at theirs? Who can say which butterfly flies with more grace or holds more charm? Once you realize that no one can do any of those things, you will begin to approach a place of true joy. Comparing yours to someone else's is a good way to fill a hole with a wanting that cannot be filled. I feel like they worded that a little weird, but okay. The whole point is to celebrate the uniqueness of yourself. And don't go grasping after, don't try to keep up with the Joneses. I think that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. We'll go ahead and move on to the next card, though. So we have Duma, Angel of Dreams. This is the idea of things in life, and I am trying to spit words out that aren't coming. I'll just read the section that kind of pulls at me, which is, the turning wheel rises and it falls. It shows us what we've seen. A vision from beyond, no different than a vision from within. So there's this idea of a continuing life cycle, right? Recognize that these difficulties, these strifes that you're dealing with right now, these difficulties of whatever it is, whether it's relationship, whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it's school, whatever it is, that these difficulties will come and they will go. They are in continuous motion. They are not stagnant. They will move on. So always be aware of that. And I think just to finish off, we're going to do a couple of happy tarot, because we need a happy message at the end of things, right? So we have the 6 of Cups, the Chariot, and the 7 of Pentacles. So this is definitely the message of you're having to make some difficult choices. You're having to really, really work at some things. Some things are just kind of frustrating right now. I think we've got that. We got the message. We got the message. Things are frustrating. But there is joy to be had. Whether it is, if you have children, find the joy in your children. Find the joy from maybe your own childhood. Find the things that you used to enjoy and bring that back into your life. Or if you've moved on and found other things that are joyful, don't forget to incorporate those things, because I think ultimately that will help you through these difficulties. So keep that in mind as you're going through these hard times, that you still have dreams, you still have aspirations, you still have the potential to be what you want to be and who you want to be. All right? We're going to call that good, pile 1. That was a lot. So much information. All right. What was pile 2? Pile 2 was the orange calcite. This beautiful little piece. This is such a happy little piece. It really is. I feel like, what's his name? Bob Ross painting. It's a happy little tree. We're just putting a happy little tree right there. Only this is a happy little stone I'm putting right there. There we go. Sorry. We'll take a breather from the corny jokes. So we're looking at the overall energies, which is Hemera. There we go. She is rebirth. She is that sunlight, that joy, that growth, that everything good and wonderful and expanding is coming your way. So that's a good energy to kind of have overall, but we'll see what the tarot cards bring us, because that can always that can alter things. All right, so we have Maker 5, the Fool, and Maker 6. The Makers is pentacles or coins in other decks, just for those who are curious about that. But anyhow, so right now we have, I get the feeling that you're going through kind of a dry spell in your life. You've lost that energy, that fire of inspiration, of joy, of life. And if you are dealing with that right now, this is where you go, okay, time to take a leap into something new. I think there is something new and wonderful. You are starting on a new journey. This might be a situation where you are kind of being left bare and empty even right now. But that is only to make way for something new and wonderful and in this new journey that you are starting. So I think that's really wonderful, because I suspect this is why we pulled this card. This rebirth card is, you are dealing, maybe you're feeling empty right now, but what's coming your way is this growth and this beauty, and it's going to be just amazing. And this idea of like generosity here, this is, you are being given so much. I see so much potential for for joy and prosperity and growth. And I'm trying to find, I need a thesaurus. I keep saying the same words over and over again, but it's all a very good, wonderful feeling. An overall wonderful message. So I don't remember what order I do these in. I think it was that way. So we have, oh, this is so sweet. Okay. There is, let's see if I can hold this right. There is a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are. How wonderful is that message right there? Being aware of that, not letting, oh my gosh, that feeling of desperation can totally be such a domino effect of just this causes this, and it's all this, it can go in a very negative spiral very rapidly. I don't know if you've ever seen those dominoes where they have like the regular size domino next to a bigger size domino, next to a bigger, next to a bigger, next to a bigger. And you can, like the smallest one can't necessarily knock over the biggest one, but it can knock over the one that's slightly bigger, and the one that's slightly bigger can knock over the one that's slightly bigger. And any negative, this feeling of neediness and desperation, that can rot the core of you to the point where it causes this domino, and it builds on itself to the point where it becomes this huge issue that you're like, where did this even come from? Cut it down before it gets too big. Like, this is where you go and be aware of those emotions, that neediness, that desperation. Be aware of those emotions and just stop them right there. Don't let them grow into something monstrous. Okay? Now next we have Otter Spirit. You are never alone. So this is kind of a twofold thing. I feel like there is a spiritual aspect to it, but also this is, I mean, first of all, how sweet is this? How sweet are those otters? I'm sorry, it's adorable. But you are never alone. You have somebody, and I feel very strongly that it's most likely a significant other. You have somebody that's got your back. Even if it's not a significant other, you've got somebody that you feel has got your back, that you're not alone, that you can go through these difficulties right now and this growth period, because growth periods are not fun all the time. There is a lot of frustration that kind of comes with this growth period. But knowing that somebody's got your back is, you are able to go through so much more and feel safer and to explore more and to expand more because you have somebody there for you. So be very grateful that you have that. Conjurer, you are literally creating your own life. You're creating the life that you want, the joy around you. You are making this happen. There is an incredible energy to this. There is incredible power and strength to this. Draw on that, what's the attraction of the universe, right? What is the law of attraction? There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But it's kind of that idea of like the law of attraction. You're bringing that idea of the life that you want into fruition. All right. We have, last but definitely not least, Samyaza? I think that's how you say that. Samyaza, Angel of Pride. This is something to kind of look out for. Let me give me a second here. Okay, so Angel of Pride can be a dangerous card because Angel of Pride is pride can definitely, the whole saying, pride goeth before a fall. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Getting too eager and feeling too highly of yourself can cause a lot of problems. But honestly, I don't feel like this is giving off that energy in this particular card. This seems to be a situation more of, there is more strength in you than you know. There is an incredible fire and passion that's kind of just buried right now, but it's going to come out in such a beautiful, incredible way. So I think in this particular reading, that's actually a really good card. So last but not least, we're going to pull out the Happy Tarot cards just to finish things off. Here we go. Look at this. This is definitely that new starts, the new beginnings, the bringing that fire, that energy of creation again. This is something to be aware of. This is letting current circumstances, current emptiness consume you. Don't let that happen. Remember what I was saying before about that idea, that neediness or desperation, don't let it build upon itself. That's this. Don't let that happen. Okay, so that's just something to kind of be out, keep an eye out for. And then last but not least, we have the Hierophant, which is keeping true to tradition, especially if you're somebody who's religious. Bringing prayer into this might be a really good idea for you. If you're not somebody who's religious, maybe meditation and that, once again, that law of attraction. But I mean, that's what also I think it's connected to Otter Spirit. This is you are never alone. I think that's kind of that same feeling of you have your faith. It's got your back. You can look to your faith, to prayer, to divine, to always watch out for you as you're going through these difficulties. So we're going to call it there as far as pile 2 goes. But that was a wonderful, wonderful energy to that pile. And I'm really glad I was able to share that one. All right, we're moving on to pile number 3, which has the energy of Pan, or nature. Oh, this is the green aventurine. How appropriate for Pan. Where was I was actually going to read a little bit about the Pan and nature thing because it was fascinating looking at it. And I don't always read from the Oracle booklets, but I actually like this one. What is it that makes you feel connected to yourself? What do you love to do? What are you passionate about? What is it that brings you energy and excitement? Let go of your personal insecurities and judgment of others, and allow the part of you that is wild and free to express itself. This may be a time to take a break from the stresses of life and the process of being productive, both at school and at home. Your soul may be calling to you to let go and remember what is beautiful, wild, and free in life. This doesn't mean abandoning all responsibility. It means there is a time and place for everything. When you lose touch with yourself, getting caught in routine, stress, pressure, and duty, you stop seeing what is true and amazing about yourself and life. So when I read that, I was like, oh, that is such a beautiful message. So maybe you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed right now. This is telling you to take a break, step out into nature for a little bit, and kind of recenter yourself. Okay? So we're going to keep that in mind as we go through this reading, and we'll pull out the tarot cards first. Okay, so here we go. This is the High Priestess, the 3 of Cups, and then the 9 of Cups. And the High Priestess, first of all, there's a lot of emotion going on here. This is the whole realm of emotion. This is what we need to stabilize and to heal. So the High Priestess is about intuition. I feel like this is kind of telling me you're not just an intuitive person, but an empathic person, which makes a lot of sense because if you're somebody who is empathic, you have a tendency to pull that, not even pull, but the energy of other people kind of gets stuck on you. When you're out working, when you're around a lot of people, a lot of different energies, it has a tendency to kind of just stick. I don't know how else. I think of it like the stickiness of a lollipop, right? You get it on your hands and it like attracts all the dirt and fuzz and nasty, right? That's other people's energies can be like that. It kind of just like sticks on you and you're like, oh, I need to get rid of it. Being out in nature will help with that. Okay, so this is once again grounding yourself, recentering yourself. All right. Then we have the Three of Cups. This is community, but this is also, I feel like, keeping kind of in touch with not just community, but maybe a religious community. If you're somebody who is spiritual or has a religious community, having that relationship with people who have the same beliefs as you can be very nourishing and very encouraging. So I think that's going to be very important for you right now, is to kind of be aware of that and be around people that are have the same beliefs and have the same faith as you, whatever the situation may be. Spend some time with those people and kind of bring that center to who you are again. And then we have the Nine of Cups. This is such a cool card. Once again, I see the flowers here. I'll pick this up. We have the flowers and the leaves and everything that feel very much like going back to nature, very much going back to that whole grounding thing. But we have this child in the center, like inside the womb, all crowded up. Crouched. But it's like, it's got these wings. It's like this idea of the butterfly in its cocoon. There is something growing and developing and wanting to burst forth, but it needs to rest right now. And this is the overall message here again and again, is this resting phase that you need to be in right now to take care of yourself. All right. So we're going to pull out the Oracle cards here. So we have Lion Spirit, Family, Tamiel. I think Tamiel is how you say it. So first we have, any plunge into the unknown is reckless, but that's where the treasure lies. Interesting. I feel like that might have been more appropriate for one of the other readings, but this still has its benefit in this particular reading. There is, especially right next to the Lion Spirit, this feeling of this recklessness. That's the word that really jumps out at me most, is this recklessness. Being free, feeling free enough to be yourself and to be open. I think that that's what we're aiming for. And there is a lot of this feeling that you're a very strong person and you love your family, you're very connected to your family. But there's also a lot of stress that comes with that, a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So let me look real quick here at Tamiel, the angel of the unseen. Tamiel moved through his life with such ease that it took a long time before anyone realized he was blind. To know that one of them was deficient in some aspect was unsettling in a way that was hard to put into words. So that second half kind of, this is, if you don't know anything about this is grouping of angels, or these are, what do they call those? From the Book of Enoch, the angels that came down to man and kind of showed men the wisdom of the angels. This is interesting that one of them came with this deficiency of being blind, but moved with such ease and grace through life that nobody could tell. And what's amazing about this is this feeling, I feel like, kind of spreads to this whole reading of you move about with grace and ease. It's like watching a ballet dancer or a gymnast. They move with such grace and ease, and you go, oh my gosh, that's incredible and beautiful and amazing. But there's the other end of that is the hours upon hours upon hours of work and even injury to self and all these things that happen behind the scenes in order to make that ease appear flawless. I get the feeling that this is about your life right now. You're feeling maybe a little bit discontent even with life right now because you're feeling burnt out. You're going through life. You appear to have everything in order, that there's this ease that you go move about life. But they don't realize how strong you have to be to get your life to that point. It takes so much behind the scenes work and effort to get to that point in life, which is why you need that rest, that grounding, being out in nature, nourishing yourself. So we'll pull out, last but not least, a couple more tarot cards here. This is the Happy Tarot. So we have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. So this is, once again, family collaboration. This is definitely bringing, collaborating. I think this collaboration is going to be necessary because you do need a break. You're needing to go off by yourself for a little bit, or to go off and do some things that you specifically enjoy. And in order for that to happen, you're going to need to kind of rest from that that throne of responsibility and delegate responsibilities so that you have the ability to go and take care of yourself in the way that you need to. All right. We're going to call that good on pile 3 here. But I hope that was helpful to you. And we'll go ahead and move on to pile number 4. Pile number 4 was, oh my gosh, come here, pile 4. The Demortierite. Oh, please don't. Thank you. There we go. So the overall feelings and energies of this particular reading is going to be Uranus, the Father. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. It's such a powerful, incredible feeling card. But then you have the title, which everybody makes fun of because most people pronounce it Uranus. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Apparently, I just looked this up before this video, and Uranus is how astrology, holy cow, people, the scientific peoples, words are hard. That's how they pronounce it. So I'm going to try pronouncing it that way, even though it's more fun to say Uranus. But anyhow, I digress. So we have, it's the energy of the Father here. And I think this is probably one of the strongest feeling cards in this deck. And I'll see if I can find, here we go. I'll read some of this. The realities of standing in the world can come as a painful shock. We often feel anger, sadness, and frustration as we are torn out of the realm of the mother, that protective energy, and forced to take full responsibility for ourselves in the realm of the Father, where we find many things cold, terrifying, or overwhelming. But once we reconcile ourselves with the world and take ownership of our lives, possibility becomes available to us. Only when we take responsibility for our lives and truly realize the power that exists within us do we have the power to create the exact lives we desire for ourselves. So this is about kind of coming into your own power and recognizing that you have the responsibility to change your life and to make it the way that you want it to be. This is an extremely powerful card, and there's a lot of strength and energy behind this, but it's about grasping that strength and that energy. All right, so we'll move on to the tarot cards and see what they got to say. Okay, I just pulled these. I know I shuffled this deck. I promise you I shuffled this deck before I did this reading, but these are the exact same cards I pulled for one of the daily readings, I swear. Anyhow, so we have the Aeon, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Prince of Stones. This is, oh my gosh, once again, this is about going through those difficulties. You're starting that process of trying to develop and take responsibility for your life, and it's going to be difficult, but that seed, that potential is so strong there. You can only grow by experiencing both the tears and the pain in life. That is the only way that you can grow and develop. And it's you're going to need to take breaks here and there. It's not going to be easy, but those lessons are very fruitful. Yeah, there's just this feeling of wisdom that kind of comes with that. You get rewarded. There's definitely reward at the end of this for going through all of that. But I think we're going to move on to the Oracle cards here, because this is, I'm going to be just repeating myself over and over again because it's that same message. What are we looking at? Oh my gosh. There we go. So we have effort, we have Stag Spirit, take the lead, and we have Phanuel, the Angel of Truth. So first we have, let us believe faithfully that our dreams are worth any struggle, and that it is our time to free ourselves and rise to glory. Look at that. This same thing. We're talking about taking responsibility so that you can free yourself and rise to glory. Such a cool message there. This is effort. Of course, it's going to take effort. It's going to take probably more effort than you'd like it to. But in the end, it's worth it. You're taking, oh my gosh, Stag Spirit, take the lead. This is, oh my gosh, I'm getting this over and over again. People, please take responsibility and create the life that you want. Make your life the way that you want it to be. Okay? This is literally over and over and over again. This is the truth. Okay. Now I'm just being weird. We're going to pull a couple more tarot cards just for the sake of pulling them. All right, here we go. So this is the Ace of Wands, the Strength card, and then the Emperor card. And we have this energy, this creative energy that is kind of pushing us forward, I feel like, trying to move us into that space of creating our own lives. So it's going to take strength and dedication and also a level head. A king has a lot of responsibility. And there is a lot of strength that is required in that kind of role. And I think you're going to be experiencing the same thing. There's going to be a lot of effort, a lot of difficulties in taking on this responsibility. But your life is better off for it. Okay? We're going to call that good, pile 4. Hopefully you got something good from that. Something that'll benefit your lives. And we'll move on to last but not least, pile 5, which is the Red Tiger's Eye. All right, so overall energies are then Thanatos, death. No. Don't get too scared because the word death is in here. We're going to take a look at the booklet because I think it actually explains it pretty well. First and foremost, I'll read this a little bit just for those who are especially cautious of seeing death in their reading. Thanatos is a personification of death, particularly non-violent death. He is believed to have a gentle touch. I find that fascinating that death has a gentle touch. Death is a constant part of life, Old cells die, and new ones are born. The day comes to an end, and a new one begins. The appearance of Thanatos in your cards today signifies that a very deep, personal transformation is occurring, and you need to surrender something linked with your identity and sense of self within the world. This may be a particular belief system, status, activity, relationship, grievance, or just general thought pattern. Whatever it is, it has served you until now, but further progress requires that you release it. So, your life is only a reflection of your innermost fears and beliefs. That's an interesting little section that caught my eye too. So this is a very, very much, you're kind of going through difficulties. That whole cycle of life and death is part of life. It's going to happen. It's not always easy to go through, but it's necessary for something better to come along and take root. Okay? So this is the overall message of that. So we have the tarot cards here, which are saying you definitely got some heavy duty shit coming your way, peoples. You will have success if you get out from underneath that safe zone. If you get out of that safe zone and are willing to move through this difficulty, you will make it. You will be successful in it. But be very careful that you are not using other people to kind of protect you from these difficulties that come in your life. If you're using other people to protect you, then you are not actually growing in the way that you need to make your life better. All right, so just keep that in mind as we continue this here. We'll do some, I don't know why I turn these face down. Okay. So we have Peacock Spirit, we have Stories, and we have Bartiel, I think is how you say it. The Angel of Pisces. Interesting. All right, so we'll start over here with this first card here. All greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. Did I not just say that? Or as similar anyway. It's about stepping out of that comfort zone and facing those difficulties and those fears head on in order to make progress. And this is something that actually is really cool. So Peacock Spirit is let it shine. So you have a good heart. Look at that. That heart is radiating light. There is so much more to you than meets the eye. And if you can get through these difficulties, it is going to just, who you are is just going to shine. It is just going to come forth in such a brilliant way. And I hope that is an encouraging thought to you, because I know all this has kind of been a little bit of a difficult reading and some frustrations and some chaos coming your way. But in spite of that, there is some major beauty that will be exposed because of it. Stories. Now, I don't actually know what Stories has to say, so we're going to look this one up. This lovely new deck. Let's see here. We all have stories to share. We all want someone to listen to them as much as we need authentic tales from them. Here are two friends, having taken the time to just get away from everything else. Now they enjoy the company of one another. In a perfect world, we all have someone who will listen to us. The companion who will simply hold space for us as we share our innermost thoughts. So this is a feeling of maybe in this process we need to find someone who is willing to find someone safe who you can kind of share these difficulties with, and be open to hearing their stories as well, because they might be going through a lot of the same stuff you are. And just knowing that you're not alone, and kind of being able to just be there for each other, leaving that space to hear each other's stories, is a very comforting thing. So let's take a look real quick at this last card, which is the Angel of Pisces. When harm comes to the people and the relationships and the things in our lives, we have to take time to help repair them. It's not easy, but bringing those pieces back together is what we have to be to live a good life. Deep down, everyone has a nurturing aspect. Choosing to cultivate it helps bring us closer to our truer selves. So overall, this feeling has been that all of these difficulties will bring out a side of you that is full of beauty and light, and it will bring out something in you that will nurture and take care of not just yourself, but those around you. You will be, in a sense, a healer because you went through these difficulties. And that is an incredible thing. All right, pulling out the last tarot cards just to kind of close things up, and we're given the 8 of Swords, the Star reversed, and the Queen of Cups. So this is, once again, it's kind of, I'm reading this linearly. I must be tired, guys, because I'm saying words funny now. In a linear fashion. There we go. So if you're given this, if you have this feeling of just like everything is really frustrating and you're feeling burdened by all the responsibility and all the difficulties right now, recognize that there is hope. There is, if you are able to balance things and bring out that generosity in your heart, then not only will your cup be filled, but you will be able to fill the cups of others. You will be able to be there for others. And I think that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. It's kind of frustrating. I know that you kind of have to go through such difficulties in order to be that light to other people. But that's kind of just the way that life is set up. So either way, though, I hope that you got some encouragement from that, because I know if you're going through that difficult time right now, I mean, it doesn't matter what I say. It's just going to be difficult, and you know you got to go through it, and it sucks. But there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you will become this bright light to other people, and that's just a wonderful gift. So, all right, we're going to call that good on that last pile. I hope that you guys got something out of this. I hope that this brought some clarity, some benefit to your life. And overall, to the best of your abilities, take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.